Hey guys, KCTCG here. I'm Ken. I'm today with Eric.
What up?
So
I was
today,
you didn't introduce me last time, so
yeah, he did.
I don't know. Oh,
So
sorry.
today we are going over our locals tournament, and just to let you guys know, currently local hero Zorga 2 will be on hold for now, as I will be instead of playing in the tournaments, hosting them now. And realistically, playing in your own tournament is kind of sus, especially if you sometimes win them. It's
All
better
I'm
to
hearing
let
is
players
free
play.
money.
What's up?
All I'm hearing is free money.
True. So today with round one, here we go. First and foremost with Zorga versus Seraph Snow. So keep in mind, guys, this is not me playing. This is people that I have taught to play the deck. They are actually playing carbon copies of my deck, the ones I'm playing Zorga. Although I'll say this right now, it's kind of cringe watching someone play without oversleeves.
Yeah, oversleeves, main deck, totally understand. Actual deck,
Especially when you grind shuffle like that, though.
yeah, that's just and I'm pretty sure those sleeves are going to be worth something later on too.
Yeah, they are. Blackout sleeves are kind of nice.
Yeah, they are nice. Are you
Funny
a
enough,
fan?
this is blackout versus daybreak sleeves.
Right.
So here we go. Let me ask you a question, Eric. Prison going second. Now, from here, we see the guy had already lost two triggers, one from ditching, one from calling. I'm pretty sure I saw a grade 1 in his hand as he was fanning through it. Would you have just played the grade 1 and lose the additional call just to get the just to save the 15k shield in hand?
Yeah, I think if it was a grade one that had an on place, then I would keep it in for sure. The crit isn't the worst option to play considering it you can still use its effects, but having a 15k shield against a Zorga player would be nice to have. So
Especially with Zorga's early rush, right?
yeah, because we could already see he's already calling out one unit. There's no
Yeah, he
stop.
has that dragon
Second.
in the drop zone that's ready to come out. This dog play is very easy to call out, and
Yeah,
here he is calling Soul Body Condensation, calling out Rancor Chain, and Dragon coming out with its own effect. And just looking at this, it just screams pain and punishment.
yeah, it's a beefy number right there, especially since it gets 5k when it's called from the drop.
From Condensate
Yeah,
or
from
the
Condensate.
order.
From the order to call out the grade one.
Order gains 5, yeah. And yeah, he
Yeah.
just took 2 damage, so Dragon was a crit too, so that was
Yeesh.
a 20k punch, which a 15k shield should have easily answered.
Yeah,
Those
Zorga's
watching
gonna
at
go for
home,
rush.
I'll say this right now, never ever ever go to 3 damage just early.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
such a bad idea.
considering Zorga is playing for the long run too,
Yeah.
um, their focus is definitely to try to beat you down with their big numbers later on. So
Also,
it's
I'm gonna say
always
this right
best
now,
to
guys. This guy has vindication when he slaps down his cards.
he's trying to come back. All right.
He's channeling the anime. So it is painful to see here. Zorga does damage double headhunter.
Mm,
So realistically, guys, a thing here is if you're going to try to deny your opponent's rear guards, do it with your first attack. Don't just do it with Vanguard first and then rear guard. It doesn't make sense to do that realistically. You don't gain much from it. You are actually better off just attacking van to rear or rear to rear and then keep going from there. So here we see Zorga going off with his plays, checking what he can and can't do. And honestly, Zorga is pretty much set up for any play that he wants already. He
yeah,
has the soul, and he has, I believe, an extra order in hand to play the twin drive order. And he has a delicious dragon and a clipping dragon in prison that he can just counterblast one because we all know Zorga doesn't need counterblast anymore.
that is true. Yeah, his drop zone is definitely set up for already on his first grade three turn as well. So that's pretty insane to see. But with that, he's looking like he's running through his options to see how he can ideally attack.
Realistically, what he's doing right now is a very good Zorga player would do, double checking, triple checking his options so that he doesn't make the wrong play. And I step in here before the game continues that when you counterboss one for prison, you have to call two cards. It is
Mhm.
not call up to two, it is call two.
But yeah,
So
it's a good play for him to at least deny the prison player the ability to at least have two in the prison
it's
already.
really strong considering the fact that Aggro Rouge requires two cards in drop, or two cards in prison to gain the 10k shield.
Yeah.
So
Not only
here
that,
we
but he also put
see
in more resources
a
there.
miasma with Sins to gain drive and calling a card out. And this combination is literally just let me get a free unit out that gains 10k power for no reason. Because Miasma's 5 and Bell's 5k from adding putting the card back into drop zone.
Yeah, and with the triple drive with that, the prison player only has three cards in his hand, so that's going to be tough for him to be able to guard anything at all.
Yeah. He ain't no guards, it's like a brave man too.
Yeah,
And the
honestly,
Zorga hits heal.
if
And
he hits
Prison
it,
hits heal, of course.
good choice on healing the grade one since you can always call that out too.
Headhunter?
Yes.
Yeah. So here I was on the side actually talking to the players. Please let your opponent resolve all triggers before you take a damage. It does change where your opponent will put power because if they know that you have a trigger on top, they would need to stack power appropriately.
Hmm. Yeah, regardless, they're still big numbers, and
Yeah,
when
they
you
are.
do
And
oh, okay.
Prison hits a second heal. This is very good for Prison. He is staying at 3 damage. Now, if he can only guard this attack, this would be beautiful.
Yeah, definitely losing a lot of tempo there, but still, he still has the advantage with what is going on the board, and
Correct. And
yeah,
just looking at Prison's hand right now, he has a Dairy Violet and a PG. Losing the PG right now with one card in hand left and nothing to Prison is really bad.
yeah,
And this is another misplay, folks. We see that the Prison player does have a Pure Light in hand, but this turn, because he tried to Prison early, he cannot hit that 3 mark, which means he's going to lose the ability to triple drive. And here we see Zorga just explaining Clipping Dragon, and he did forget about it, and he just put it in now. Prison just said fuck it, or F it, sorry. I'm just gonna eat your front row.
family friendly.
Realistically, Prison only wins here if he hits Cradle T right now.
Yeah, he definitely does need a better advantage in terms of tempo because he has a fat hand right now.
Hey man, it's the benefit of Zorga. It's able to just generate free hand now.
That is true. Definitely the procs of a toolkit heavy deck.
Correct, and especially when you can actually access your toolkit. And pardon the extra noise in the background. It's just people playing League of Legends in the back. Who plays that game anymore?
But he was able to get the persona right, and he's wow, just like that. Just one counter blast that he doesn't even need. He's able to just replenish back his field.
Honestly speaking, like speaking as the deck's creator, so to speak, I am very happy with the way this deck has turned out. Um, I'm not saying the deck needed this to happen. It was it was definitely very nice, but it was definitely a different change of pace the way the deck plays now versus before. And just seeing the fact that the deck is able to just fully combo out for pretty much no reason is amazing to watch.
Hmm.
So here we have another Miasma turn with Malice. This is a very typical Zorga turn where Miasma will just give you 5k to the front row and the free unit, and then replenish your soul for your next turn. The counterblast is just the cherry on top, realistically. The counter charge. Because
Hmm.
we've all seen already, I don't need counterblast in this deck. Like between Headhunters and Malice, honestly, and Clipping Dragons, I can survive off one CB the entire game.
Yeah, and all that for not even dropping that much cards from his hand either.
Oh,
That's
and he hits a front crit here. Ouch. This is something that Prison does not want to see. Zorga hitting a crit when he's already at danger.
yeah. Out of the 5 drive checks he had in battle, good amount of them has been offensive. So that's a good topping point for him too.
And 6 damage, we hit the Pure Light. Unfortunate.
Mhm.
And here we go, guys. Round 2. And round 2 is going to be Magnolia versus Zorga. Uh, Zorga is just patiently waiting for Magnolia to finish shuffling, you know. Gotta wait for your opponent to stack that deck first.
He's trying to get his inlet pulses in, you know.
Oh, and keep in mind, guys, this is recorded before the ban list was even announced. Although we did see inklings already of it happening, realistically, Magnolia, and it was just too too highly represented, honestly.
Hmm.
So here's something I don't like to see when anybody mulls 4 back. Like mulling 3 to 5, I cringe. It means you have a bad hand to start. Like,
It does,
yeah,
yeah.
you can draw 4 cards back that you're not gonna put back, right? But it's just so much RNG in what you're getting.
That is true, but definitely a better option than just keeping the triggers as well in your hand.
Correct,
The triggers,
correct.
most likely.
So both players put back 4 cards, which I guess is a good sign. It's an even match, so to speak.
As
We
even
did see a glimpse of Magnolia's hand with what he was keeping. He did decide to keep the inlet pulse,
to your
which
card.
is a very strong choice, honestly.
Mhm.
So here we go. Stand up the Vanguard. Charocles versus I don't know what the hell that name is.
It is a shiny card though.
It is. So here we go with Rancor Chain doing his thing.
God, it's
And
so good.
as
Draw
any
two, pitch
what's up?
one. It's so good. Just draw two and pitch one.
While it is, however, I feel that people running this engine not in Zorga suffer
As you see
because
it right
you're
here.
yeah, like as I'm shown right here, suffer because you're now forced to run trigger cards that you normally shouldn't run in your deck because it takes up too much space.
Yeah.
Especially in Magnolia where, for example, he just saw 2 soul body condensates. You really realistically only want to see one in your span of the game.
Hmm.
So here both players are ironically just playing a mirror match. Like I see draw triggers being dished for ride, and the man opens the KCTCG special, dropping double dog, just setting up his drop zone for free.
Yeah, that card is strong. Just being able to just
Hey man,
deck
Foolish Burial is a really good card.
decked in and just set up your toolkit. That is insane.
So here, folks, if he has Nightmare, I would play it right now. But if he did not have Nightmare in hand, if I were me, instead of Regurgitate, I would have actually sent out Nightmares. Uh, but that's just me as a Zorga main, I guess. Here we go with the triple attack that most Zorga players will do. He goes for a no pass, but instead gets punished by seeing a front trigger.
And
Ooh, so there's one in a gone.
at least he has the order to bring it back on his
When he
way
heals
through.
it out, right?
Yeah. If he
Or
heals it
if
out,
he heals it out, you're right.
tells you, yeah.
So realistically, here's another thing too, right? Like you're playing Order Nolia, you already have less shield than the typical deck because you're running orders. I would not be pitching a 15k. If anything, I would have
Yeah.
pitched the second Soul Body Condensate that he drove check.
Yeah, I don't know what that's just 30k shield gone right there. Then he
40k, there's a draw in there too.
oh my gosh. Yeah, he could have just he only needs one, realistically speaking.
Yeah, and he's
One
not playing it turn two, so there's no reason he's holding a second one.
yeah.
So
If
after Ordinolia is done cheating, adding cards back from the bottom of the table. but I digress, guys. Like realistically speaking, oh, and he top decked another dog. Wow. But realistically speaking, guys, like you honestly, I understand that people liked playing Order Nolia because you're able to, oh, just like Eric said, draw two cards for ditching one. What a good value. But look at the trade-off that you're taking. Full body condensate, regurgitation, and wild intelligence. You are running like what, 11 cards? That could be shield instead.
Could
Could
be
be ditch
shield
fodder.
attackers.
Like
No need
Magnolia
these.
is a deck that thrives when your opponent's at 4 or 5 damage.
That is
I
true.
don't see thriving going on. I just see slow game. So here we see my typical play of my first turn on Zorga, which is Sins with Nightmares. And it's just a really good combo. It adds your Blitz order back to your hand. It sets you up for the Pot of Greed to be free almost. And you have an order to ditch next turn that shouldn't even be there, realistically speaking.
Which you're just gonna use later on anyways.
So here we have, because Order Noli didn't play anything, it's just 10. Oh, sorry, he Alchemy Magic. 15, 18, 15. Thankfully, though, he hit a heal so he doesn't get punished, right?
Yeah.
Although this is triple drive incoming.
And I don't know if it's something I would take or if I would guard. It is.
Honestly, I would guard, but I would guard with 15 out of 20.
Yeah.
So, once again, another front. My guy, stop. He's only a child.
He's only a grade 2.
So, even after all that, Order Nolia still loses a card in hand. 20k, mind you. He couldn't even. Oh no, he had a heal, no?
I'm not sure. And he pitches the inlet anyways, so.
Yeah, that's
And
really awkward too, especially when you're playing a deck that needs your soul.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's not the most ideal pitch
Honestly,
considering.
the man has ditched every single card he needs to fuel Soul Body Condensation.
Yeah,
Like, if I were this man, I would have kept the inlet in hand, Soul Body Condensation out the fourth inlet, just to turbo out.
yeah.
So here the man is able to refuel his hand, hitting a beautiful draw trigger, and then hitting a crit trigger offensively.
My
This is
God.
very strong.
Yeah.
And ouch, double headhunter again. I just
It's
cry.
not yeah.
Who needs headhunters anyway? You're giving me damage. And here's another thing, right, guys? Like you wanna play Order Nolia, sure, but keep in mind, everything is literally a one card guard.
For right now, at least. And this is his first grade 3 turn.
I mean, even with Order Nolia, like even if you're Elder, right? They're only 18.
That's true.
And here we go, Zorga flexing on this man, showing him 5 orders in bind and drop, just saying, this does not hit me. So, as it was easily foreshadowed, the man has a Persona ride because he soul blasted his only soul. But that's the beauty of the deck. You don't need soul to start your turn. You can just Persona ride and just, gain the soul from there.
Just Persona, right, huh?
Just Persona ride. That easy. Don't believe me? Watch. So here we go. Order just. That's another thing I find amazing. I'm just gonna discard this card to add it back to my hand.
He
So
definitely does have a lot of options right now,
he
then.
does, especially with a headhunter in hand. He has actively 3 counterblasts he can work with, which effectively pays for any order he wants right now. So here he is gonna go with not Malice, Miasma with Pot of Greed, and with Pot of Greed seeing 3 cards in bind, it is a one cost for Pot of Greed and then 1 cost for Miasma, but deducted by 1 from Headhunter, which I had to remind the player. So it is actually just 1 counterblast for drawing 2, giving 5k a front row and a free body. How's that for free?
That's insane. And with the Persona, right, that's just another 10k to the. Wow, that's just strong.
So realistically speaking, right, the player is not gonna if he doesn't drop another card right now, he has another Persona right in hand.
Yeah.
I think I see it too when he planned it out. But yeah, this is a 30k dog. This is a front
Jesus.
trigger.
48 on that card too.
On the Husk Dragon.
Yes.
15, 35, yeah, 48. Math is hard. Like when your opponent needs to PG, like oh my god, the over trigger.
Ooh, jeez.
And he heals. Someone stop this man.
That's just unfair at this point. See, so that's one
Yeah,
trigger.
that's his first drive check too. He just draws two because of it. This man says 100 mil, cute number.
What a crit.
Yeah, yeah.
Just for the PG, it is necessary at this point.
I mean, this just sets up dragons if this man ever sees dragons.
Yeah.
I think he runs them.
And he's not able to ride a grade 4.
Yeah,
That
that's
is.
unfortunate. Realistically speaking, right? Yeah, I think just getting more cards out, getting more cards to draw would have been the answer.
Hmm. But with all that drawing too, he hit a lot of triggers, and with the inlet draws, that's unfortunate to see.
Correct. But once again, right? Like checking out this man's hand, soul body condensation, sure, just call that inlet from soul. Don't even put it in a drop zone. And we're looking at this man's hand, just he's trying his hardest to fuel it, just he can't get there though.
Yeah.
And that's the issue relying on crutches like inlet. Sure, it's a great card and all, but when you don't see cards that you need for your deck to run, you just brick. And look, more bricks.
Ugh,
And
that
not
order
Elder.
could be something else.
Like, what are these Panteros? 14s? Just intercept
Yeah.
guard?
Yep.
And meanwhile, looking at Zorga's hand, like, the deck that's supposed to be getting pushed in
Oh
is
man,
sitting
he has
comfortably at like
options
8
to
cards in
guard
hand.
too.
I'll just take this one damage.
Just to fancy him.
And look at this. He finally draws Wild Int, a card that's usable now because he's stuck on Magnolia, but honestly, guys, just I don't think this build is worth it. And yeah, just by the time you guys watch this video, ban list already hit, so it doesn't matter if what I think, it's gone. And those that are interested in what my list of Magnolia is, because I'm so adamant on not running end picks or inlet, um, the Magnolia deck list is up on the page. So just go ahead, find it, or sorry, the page. Just go ahead and find it, watch it, and either like it, hate it, bash it, don't care. Ooh, ooh, this PG play is gonna be spicy.
That is just cold. Unnecessary even.
He is literally doing it just to have a sack target.
Would you choose the oh, okay, he does choose the grade 2 in the back.
Because I need soul for next turn, and if I'm not gonna call Clipping Dragon, uh, I would not choose my headhunters and have the Shade Cloak bounce the PJ if that's what you're thinking.
Hmm.
And realistically speaking, right, you're against Magnolia. When are you gonna want a PG?
That is true.
You're literally just wanting to PG against passing the OT around like a blunt.
That's one way to look at it.
Hey man, that's the only time that bear gets high.
Yeah, many options with the Zorga players still deciding what to call down.
That's the only issue with the deck. You have too many options.
Yeah.
So here the man is going for Clipping Dragon, setting up a beautiful two soul for next turn, so that soul body condensation and that regurgitate can actually see play for once. I
It's
believe
big. But
Husk Dragon is 5k higher than Doggo. 30k Vanguard Persona Road. That miasma putting in work, being played every turn.
and what is that unit behind the Zorga Vanguard?
So that is a new addition to the deck for this rendition of Grave equals Zorga. It is Clipping Dragon. His effect is when during the turn or end of turn that you either attacked 5 times or Alchemagicked an order. During the end phase, you can put him in Soul and countercharge one.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
when you no guard and get punished, that is unfortunate.
yeah. This man has been triggering like crazy too.
Ooh, there's one elder, and there's another elder.
Ooh, he
Found
took
him,
that.
and he drew an elder off the draw.
Oh man.
So here we go with game three, guys, and this is going to be Magnolia versus Dragonic Overload. The end. So he hasn't really been shown recently until now, right?
Yeah, that is true. Not many people have been. I guess some people have been using him, but it's definitely become a stronger deck with the new support. Just not quite where we would want to see it on par with the top tier decks, at least.
So my video paused for a little bit, but where are we at right now?
35.
Alright, I just went to 36.
Okay, that's fine.
But yeah, so you see the man, they're just shuffling mulliganing, right?
Yeah.
Alright. So here we go. This is something I actually wanted to teach people of how to shuffle. Magnolia player on the right, and yeah, the Magnolia player on the right, how he is grind shuffling and cut shuffling. This is what you want to do. This allows you to fully separate your deck and fully randomize it, not just clump everything to top or bottom.
Hmm.
So I believe this is DOTE's first. Yeah, DOTE's going first. Ditching a PG, which most people would say, why are you ditching PG, right? But you're against, once again, you're against Magnolia. What are you going to PG?
That is true. PGs aren't that important when it comes to playing against Magnolia, at least.
Especially when
But
everything is literally a one card guard. Unless, once again,
yeah.
Geonos is in play. And
And
once
even
again, it's
then,
another Order Nolia deck.
mm,
Oh, yikes. When you damage, deny yourself. But
it
the
would be
good
nice
thing
to
is, I know this Dotes list. It is the list that we have posted on this channel. But the list itself runs one Toguchirashi, meant to be searched for by the grade 1 bar. However, the man just drew his search target, so I guess it works out.
mm,
And realistically speaking, right, like watching Order Only still makes me sad. Just looking at these soul body condensations that are coming out for no reason. Although this maple is very intriguing. I've never seen this played until now.
yeah, the maple tech inside Magnolia, that is new.
It is a free 15k swinger, which I can agree, right? Like it can do something.
Yes.
And right here, he sets Overlord to 3, which is very strong.
That is pretty strong, yeah. But he also got the trigger as well, right?
Or he got a front.
Ooh, that is big.
So here we go with Dragonic Overlord playing that Nahalem and going for that top check 7, which unfortunately he misses.
Mhm.
But he does get a counter charge back.
That's good. It's pseudo free.
It's free if you're bad. So Draconic Overlord currently just swinging for those rear guards, trying to eliminate threats on the board.
Yeah. Low
However, he hits
effects.
super dry on triggers.
Hmm. And he's pitching two to reset for one
It's
drive,
pitching one, I believe.
pitching one.
DOTE is pitch two, but he gains his twin drive back. So damaging impacts is good here. But Magnolia says, you can be a 3 all you want. I don't want to be a 3.
Which is smart considering this deck adds a lot of pressure to your opponent, especially when you're higher up there.
Correct. And here we go, Order Nolia ditching another order just because the man says, I don't need it. I have inlet. Sorry, inlets. So Magnolia swinging for the hills, and now DOTE is on the defense, so going for that sick two to pass. And he drive checks another inlet. That's all four, folks.
Jeez. Now here's a question: would you have called all those inlets out if you're not going to swing with all of them?
I would honestly go based off my hand. Because let's say I need the draw, right? Like, let's say I don't have Elder. Then
Hmm.
sure, it's a good card to fetch because I admit that, hey, my hand sucks. I need to fix it.
Hmm.
But would I broadcast it this loudly? Probably not. Because that's just telling my opponent, smack me in the face and make me damage all the elders. So here we go, DOTE's strongest turn, which is going to be the ride into DOTE. Unfortunately, it does not Persona ride because he needs an Overlord in Soul, and you're better off riding base Overlord because DOTE does ditch two. Base
Yeah,
Overlord only ditches one.
that is correct. That's what makes this deck a little less appealing, but
Yeah, like I agree with some people that have said this. If ever Kagero slash Dragon Empire gets the ability to put a grade 3 into Soul your first grade 3 turn, my god, sign me up, dope.
which is crazy because Phantom Blaster has that, but
However, Phantom Blaster is a different playstyle. It doesn't restand the Vanguard.
that is true. But at the very least, they were able to get what they needed to be
Correct.
able to proc early on.
I will say though, DOTE in premium is nutty. So here we go, DOTE baiting out a 25k shield and hits a front and a heel. Two to pass? Psh,
Just like that.
easy.
And
Realistically, that was the best drive check Overlord could have gotten right now. Front and a heel.
43, just like that. And still with the twin drive.
And he hits a draw. So
Oh my
good.
god.
Like the
Yeah,
fact that DOTE is able to just pressure being a 3 card deck, just 3 units, nothing more.
yeah. But those are some beefy units, even with just the triggers by themselves.
They are because Nahalem gains 5k
Yeah.
when he uses his ability, and Burning Horn gains 5k when your Vanguard swings.
Just like that, he's already at 5. What a scary position to be in.
It is, and so unlike the last game, this guy sees Elder. He's able to just call out so many free units right now, on top of just double inlet, meaning end of turn, he's gonna end with 5 more cards in hand, including the drive check, not including draws or let's see if he hits it.
A lot of cards to replenish just right there.
It is, and I would have swung with Maple first. I think that's the weaker card. Um, right here, he's being cute, showing him a two to pass.
Now, would you put on the Vanguard here?
There's no reason to. You're gonna pressure with 5 more attacks. I don't think going all in right now is the right play,
Hmm.
especially if my opponent gets punished or sorry, no, not punished, rewarded for taking a damage, i.e., hitting a trigger,
Hmm.
because that turns off Inlet and Maple. Yeah, that's too much of a benefit. And on top of that, right? Like because he hits if my opponent hits a trigger, that inlet becomes a 5k intercept, not even just guard, just intercept.
Yeah.
It's too strong.
At the very least, he has his grade twos in the back, so it won't be able to
Correct.
get retired.
I mean, realistically, right? There's only one card that retires in his deck, and it's Berserk. And I've seen them ditched more than played right now. Oh, look at these sick one card cards. Now, here's my question: would you be willing to go to 4 damage right now?
4 damage is the Overlord player.
Yes.
Well, you do need one counterblast for the Vanguard effect, and then unless he has something else in his hand that is able to use a counterblast this early on,
Just another
uh,
Burning Horn if he chooses to.
hmm, I guess deck thinning is deck winning.
True,
But
especially when it's a grade 3 that you don't want to drive check.
yeah, but he didn't even play it, so I'm not sure if I would have taken it. And there
I
it is.
I found the Burning Horn targets.
Ask and ye shall receive.
I don't want to
That's
receive that
pitch
though.
butter there.
Here's my question now. Would you keep double doe against Magnolia?
I don't think so. I mean, he's already at 5 anyways. The idea of persona writing isn't as necessary, um, especially if you just resend, you're just drive checking 4 times already.
Correct.
So, I mean, it's player choice, but I do think that it's not necessary, and you're
Wow,
trying
this
to.
turn looks like so familiar.
I know, right?
I could have sworn, and he's listening to me now. He mapled first. So, realistically speaking, I think that the correct play should have been fishing for triggers and just take the
Yeah.
first maple hit.
Yeah. So had he have been on 3 damage, then definitely just more targets to potentially trigger. Consider
Correct.
6 attacks is not something to
Laugh
laugh
at. Ignore. Playfully ignore. Ha ha ha.
But yes, figuring out what to guard. He no guards this as well. Okay, one pass on a triple drive check. Oh,
It's ballsy. If he gets it, he gets heavily rewarded, but it is very ballsy. And
yes.
here, instead of being ballsy, he gets punished.
Ooh,
3, 2, 1, go. And here we go with the top cut, and it's gonna be round one, Zorga versus Magnolia, Stoicheia versus Stoicheia, and we start off strong with Zorga seeing that dragon he could not see in Swiss.
hmm.
Like I think that
Okay.
card is so strong, but so not worth it running it more than two because if you get clogged with dragons, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah. Not much value aside from just having it in the toolkit or your drop at least.
Correct. And I'm already hating this Magnolia's hand, double MPEX and inlet. Ooh, damaging. Let's see, yikes.
That's what you love to see. But the overtrigger is out early already, though.
It 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 sucks for him, but realistically speaking, right? Like I've been saying before, Zorga doesn't need damage.
That is true. He's even in grade two, so it's not like he wouldn't need it right now this early on, right?
There is one play you can do which involves double dog into nightmares. This just allows you to deck in 2 and add 2 orders back to hand for the cost of 1 CB. But seeing that he doesn't have it in his hand, it's not necessary. Now here's the first mistake this Zorga player makes. Uh, Rushing this early against a 8K, I feel is unnecessary. And dang, this player just reverse clapped DOT. Well, realistically speaking here, guys, I don't think playing double headhunter is the right play here because one, he's not going second, so those headhunters did nothing. Yes, they require a 15k shield, but so does just swinging in, and you're playing against Magnolia. They don't really want to lose their rear guards this early to guarding. They're gonna guard you with triggers, if anything.
Ooh, just like that.
Ooh, that front's really nice though.
But yes, that front is good.
So here we go. Unfortunately, because of Zorga's, I want to say life choices, he is unable to properly play a free turn. And once again, Regurgitate is not that strong of an order. Sins is infinitely better to mulligan, not mulligan, but deck thin away with Shadow Cloak. Just free drive check, and if you already have an extra order in hand, why not?
Ain't no way he trying to
So here we see the Regurgitate. All he does is kill a Maple that's going to come back. It is very painful to watch
Yeah, not sure why he opted to kill the rear guard like that so early.
because he had no choice to Alchemagic. He had Regurgitate or Pot of Greed, and he does not Counterblast for Pot of Greed.
Okay,
Hmm.
Kyle. Okay, buddy. Okay.
Like unless and if he had Miasma and Sins, he would have had triple drive plus the 5k front. Infinitely better.
Hmm.
Like I feel that this man prioritizing Regurgitate is a reason why I believe Regurgitate is just weak order. What it does right now, it just does nothing for you.
Yeah, especially when you're just trying to build an advantage with he only has like 3 or 4 cards in his hand as
Correct.
well.
He's about to get punished if Magnolia is able to drop, triple inlet.
Yeah, but at the very least, he'll only be up to his grade 3.
Correct. And here we go with Order Noli hitting a defensive, which he wants to get right now, especially against a 43,
I was just
48k
waiting for that.
dragon.
Funny, like, I don't know what the barrel. They know. I don't play it serious, I guess.
Yeah, that's just too much.
That is a big hand drop right there.
So the tables have turned, thankfully. And now Zorga's in the lead. However, it is finally turn for Order Nolia to go grade 3.
Yeah,
And
and he picked grade 4.
yeah,
Huh.
like, I mean, realistically, right? If you're ditching a grade 4 to ride, you're just telling me, you're shouting it at me, you have another one in hand.
Yeah, but even then, if you think that the game is going to go far, which by the luck of the game state, it would be, I'm not sure if pitching that grade 4 would be the best move
I
right
think
now.
ditching Regurgitate's the better play here.
Yeah.
Because realistically, right? Sure, you're killing a grade 1, well, Rancor Chain doesn't really do anything.
That is true. So yeah,
Like, the
that
man
that
honestly wanted to kill the dragon to get inlet back, but what is he
yeah,
gonna do?
but at least he's able to trigger.
Yeah, and he evens up the game state, and he hits a front. Now,
Good.
here's another thing I don't like about Order Nolia is that because you're running so much less uh, units because you're running orders, you're forced to run fronts to mitigate that shield loss.
Flag.
Hmm.
And as Magnolia, realistically, I don't want to see fronts. I want to just see crits.
Would you prefer crits or draws in this sort of deck?
I'm actually running 8 crit 3 draw right now.
Hmm.
I feel that 8 crit 3 draw is a very strong lineup. So here is another mistake the Zorga player has made. I like keeping Miasma in rotation. Sins is a really cute one-off. The moment you use it, you're not able to fuel it again because you need ditch an order, or yeah, ditch an order from hand. So what I would have done here was ditch Sins and get back Miasma so that Miasma stays in rotation.
Hmm.
But that is a lesson learned for the player after.
Yeah, at least he opted to get the triple drive this turn as well. So
Correct. This was a very strong triple drive, hitting double trigger against Ordinalia.
yeah,
It was targeting me. I don't
and
know.
man, that Rhaegar combo is just
Drag
devastating.
Dragon Hunter.
Yeah,
48k for no reason. We are looking at that PG that Ordinalia has been holding for quite a while. I wonder why it's saving it.
yeah, because these are the times when you would at least hold it in. Because now he's at 5,
Correct.
so
Like any attack is lethal instead of, guarding and saying, oh, hey, I could take another hit soon.
yeah, especially considering the fact that Zorga mostly has 3 attacks, right? There's no multi-attacking as far as I'm aware.
It's a 3 attack deck, yeah.
Yeah,
And
so
it's just, it's very puzzling sometimes to watch
yeah,
players that play.
being at 4 damage is definitely the key play here, since you're able to just take one of the stronger attacks at the very
I mean,
least.
realistically speaking, though, would you rather take Vanguard at 4 or would you risk the dragons because they have crit?
What? How many?
I would I would risk
Vanguard?
the I would risk the Vanguard just because it's not guaranteed.
So here is another issue with Order Nolia because you're forcing yourself to run so many orders of Soul Blast every turn. You're actually running out of resources every turn, every round. So here we and he had to take back his play because if he didn't, his rear guards couldn't attack.
That is true.
Also, realistically, another reason why I just like calling Magnolia from Elder Skill when I really ran a ride, so I don't have to worry about it. It's a one and done.
That is true. Yeah, but he's boosting.
He can't hit.
Yeah, that's true. It did get the trigger, but
It's
huh?
15. Those are 15k attacks, and the Vanguard's 30k or 20k.
Fucking minions, bro. What you talking
It's
about?
sad. These draw triggers are shielding for him.
Yeah,
So
but he
here's
takes
another
the
thing, guys.
damage.
If you're gonna take hits, or if you're gonna plan to take a hit, right? Uh, you take all the hits you can first before you start guarding. Because if you hit triggers that can potentially stop attacks, and at the end of the day, if after calculating how much damage you're taking, you do or do not, take hits, you should have just taken hits first just to see what would happen.
Yeah, not sure why he took the 5th damage if he doesn't need it right now. He could have easily have guarded that for just some easily like 5k shield. Or even overguarding is fine.
Correct. So here Zorga is trying to see what plays are possible. Potter Greed is going to be your best out. Now, honestly, I would have kept the additional card for the triple drive to get extra cards.
Extra cards and just more chances to trigger.
Correct. And because Dragon's such a free card, it doesn't matter if you kill it off early, right?
That's true.
No, I said like.
And those watching right now, I'm gonna say this right now: this player did cheat, and I did not catch it until now. As you will see very shortly, after guard step is declared and the PG is finalized, that he is going to triple drive. I did already talk to this player how be careful with your plays because if you're watching the plays earlier, he was fanning through the drop zone looking for orders, and he did pick up Sin earlier with intention of playing Sin, but instead he went to he decided to triple drive for some reason.
Oh,
So there's a second, there's a third for no reason at all, and his opponent let it go because he didn't catch it.
I'll 10 bro. I'll 10 bro.
I mean, I'm not gonna read the cards. I would have let it go too.
Oh, you have triple drive? Everyone has triple drive. We're good.
Man, that's crazy. I need to pick up this deck.
Wait, why can't I do it?
Oh wait, I'm a grade 4. Of course, I can do it easily. All right,
So
but
here we
what the?
go, Order Nolia once again.
He calls over the maple too.
That is very awkward to me, but the Gyanosa I
Yeah.
get. So realistically here, the man didn't think his play through. He thought he had enough play for the Garberg to work. Unfortunately, because he has no soul, he is not able to activate Garberg's effect when the end picks behind it attacks.
Because he only has that one soul in the deck
Correct.
or in the
So if
yeah.
unless he wants to lose it, he's not gonna be able to do anything. And here's where what you said earlier applies now. Like game state, everything is going super slow. Keep the extra Magnolia, dude. You need it.
Yeah, it would have been nice to have popped out, but I mean, with that now,
Correct. And it would have been nice if that Soul Body Condensate he played like 3 turns in a row was a different unit.
he's killing his own shield as well. It's just interesting to see uh, his board setup at least.
Correct.
But yeah, that grade 2 does get tricky sometimes. The tiger,
Garberg.
I believe it's yeah.
Uh, I know it's the cheetah or tiger cheetah thing, but
Cat.
to be
Or cat.
funny, to me, it's not the cheetah or the tiger or cat. It's the bird.
It's the bird. All right.
And once again, guys, if this man had fished for triggers last turn, he would have actually had more cards in hand, and it would have been a lot better to guard this turn instead of struggling right now for damage.
Yeah, but I mean, it is approaching what it would be the final turn soon. So thinking about when to take the damage is also very crucial, especially if you think
Correct.
you won't be able to survive.
So realistically speaking, I would have just weenie guarded this. I do see a bell in this man's hand. Uh, I would have guarded that with 5 and then just take deal with the rest. But yeah,
Yeah.
he lived at least. He draws a Persona Ride, which is actually really strong, but unfortunately he already had a Persona Ride in hand.
Yes.
So he goes ahead and smacks down the bell, and I'm calling right now. He's gonna ditch a card to get that miasma back, and then combine it with Malice. Calling it right now, as a Zorga main. Miasma or Malice, sure. Once again, losing that miasma in rotation. Hey, what'd I say?
It's almost as if you made this deck.
I wonder.
Hmm.
And I would call out either Bell or Headhunter. Yep. And then just go with Double Dragon again. Oh, wow. This combo
Damn.
never gets old. So let me ask you this, Eric. We see here that Magnolia is actually running a card that very few people want to run because of the shield natural value and the extended shield value on a condition. He is running the critical heal.
Ah, the critical heal. Yes.
What do you think about cards like these? Like, yes, in this situation, it's working, obviously, but do you think these cards are worth running?
It's very tricky considering if this game had like a sideboard function,
Hmm.
then absolutely I think it's worth running. You know, like being able to switch up depending on what your opponent has. But I mean, it's a tanky shield, and you're kind of gambling at that point. So it's dependent on what sort of meta you're also in as well.
So here we go, guys. With the final rounds, keep in mind I did do a top cut for this tournament, so that this is the finals of the finals. We are going with Zorga. Sorry, I'm so used to saying Magnolia now. Zorga versus DOTE. Who would have thought Zorga and DOTE would meet in the finals? Like two
Yeah, pretty
underplayed
jam
decks.
packed. Yeah, underplayed, but definitely still viable in terms of what they can do.
Now, do you think with, I guess, more exposure with the deck, that more people will start picking up these underrated decks over everything that's just quote unquote constantly being played as meta?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, being able to see what the deck does firsthand gives you an idea as to how you would play it. You know, like if that style works best with you.
Now, here's my question now, because I have played Zorga, of course, for since the beginning of G, or sorry, D. Um, and on top of that, I've been posting videos almost every week on how to play this deck, or at least me playing the deck. Um, Not many people have gotten around to, I would say, trying it or seeing it through my eyes, so to speak. Do you think it's because the deck is just too hard? I'm too lucky? Uh, they don't shuffle properly? Like, what do you think it is?
There's definitely a lot of uh, reasons in general why people wouldn't be playing this deck. It definitely has the consistency if you're able to you know draw the right cards to fuel your drop zone. But I do think that uh, aside from the consistency, it's also about what the deck can do and for the price it can do
Mhm.
without having your head hurt too much. Because there is a lot you can do with Zorga as opposed to more cookie cutter decks where you're just swinging with the right
Do what
abilities.
the internet tells you, right? Like this is your plate order, this is what you're supposed to do, like a flow chart esque.
Yeah,
Whereas Zorga's more of a at
very
this moment,
situational.
yeah,
Yeah,
at this moment, what do I do?
yes. And
Like,
so decks that are able to, adapt to what the opponent has definitely has its pros and cons. Um,
correct.
but sometimes the decks that are being played are just strong in general with what they can do as well. So it's about
And
what,
normally this overshadows decks like Zorga and DOTE because, oh, this deck does this, but it's so much easier.
yes, because you look at Barrow Magnes, they just the appeal is just board
What do
wipe.
you do? Go to 15. Okay.
Some people that's hard because counting past 12 for some people is just
Wait. Let's take League into this. Counting past 4 is hard.
it's true.
So here we go with Dote's turn 2. Now, I understand that you don't want your opponents to get on hits, right? But Gojo being an on hit and the Vanguard swing for 18, Zorga honestly doesn't care if he gets damage or not.
Yeah.
Would you guard that for a one to pass, or would you just take it?
Um, I think it would depend on how your toolkit is set up as well. Obviously, this person, the Zorga player, has a lot going on for him, so I would think that he can afford to do a one to pass. As even though, like, yeah, he loses like a good amount of stuff, just to pay off is something that he can recover back from at least.
Like already right
So
now, he's triple driving, adding a dog to his hand, which is 5k shield, and he's adding two orders, which total is 6 cards, three being public knowledge, but three are going to be surprises for your opponent.
exactly. So with that sort of advantage that comes with the deck by itself, if you know that, then doing one a pass isn't the worst thing you can do.
And here's the man flexing on his opponent, saying, "Hey, remember that dog I added? Well, he's coming back out because this order is gonna fly out, baby."
Jesus Christ. Thing is, as always, deck winning.
Hey, there's a reason Foolish Burial got limited in Yu-Gi-Oh so quickly. What? Search deck and get rid of a card? Nah, it can't be me.
Oh
Now,
man.
I'm gonna be
Oh
real. Like that. What? Number one, he had no reason whatsoever to put power on Vanguard here. Like that should not have happened.
yeah.
Bro, cheesecake forever, bro. Alright, we're starting.
But yeah, it's unfortunate to
Alright, we're
see
starting.
the Dragonic Overlord deck go second still.
Yeah,
Because this is
especially against once again a high pressure deck like Zorga, it's able to
yeah.
just rush for almost nothing and make up for it because even look at it, right? Zorga's been rushing this entire time. He has a hand of I believe that's 6 or 7. Like yeah, Dote has a hand too. I think that's also a 6 card hand right now. But the fact that Zorga had a full board, Dote has 3 cards in board, and they have the same amount of cards in hand right now.
Mhm.
And on top of that, right, Zorga guarded some attacks, and Dote 8 attacks, yes, but still, cards in hand is equal. That shouldn't happen.
Yeah, and at this point, like, would you be swinging at the rear guard, even though it's gonna come back just to get the restand?
Uh, I'd swing at the dog at least, even though there's a replacement right behind him.
Next in line, huh?
Bro,
Next in line to die. And here we see Doe. You know that's a fifth heal. That no, sorry, not fifth heal. That heal coming out right now is so clutch because it goes back to what you were saying earlier. How it's not a guaranteed critical coming out, and versus critical dragons, I'd rather take a Vanguard hit at this point.
Absolutely. So if he's low in his hand, which it looks like he's got a
7
meaty
cards, I
hand.
believe I counted that.
Yeah, I mean he's not in danger by any means, but it can definitely get dangerous depending on how the Zorga player sets up.
Meanwhile, more deck thinning.
Jesus,
Hey man, the deck does what the deck wants. Leave it alone.
it really does. And his hand has not been going down really, aside from just calling from his hand.
Even
To which
then, it's
point
about to go back up.
exactly?
Yeah.
That clipping dragon's gonna see play again.
Yeah.
So once again, guys, I'm gonna say this right now. Unfortunately, the Zorga player cheated here. Yes, it is the same player that messed up the first time. I already did talk to the player saying, "Hey, you messed up twice," and his reaction was, "Oh, did I? Oops, damn, how like." And he had no reason for it, realistically speaking, right? But
and, and that's why you kicked him out of your scene, right? Permanently banned.
he's not even in my team. The heck? So right now, the one thing I'll say right now in Zorga's position, even though he's cheating with that triple drive order, the fact that he is being forced to call a critical trigger here to throw it into Soul shows that he doesn't have a Persona ride, which is very unfortunate.
Yes,
And
it will
I'll
set him back.
sorry, go for it. What's up?
Yeah, no, it will set him back in terms of tempo going on, considering this is a pretty big like back and forth
Correct.
between the
It's
two
it's a
players right
very seesawy match right now. I will say this right now, guys. Those that have seen my deck list and are watching this man play right now, yes, I am not running Alana as a critical trigger. If I were to better the deck, which realistically this man did want to play the best version of my deck, which is running Alana over the vanilla critical. My only reason is because the critical trigger makes a frame, even though I'm not playing original grade 3 Zorga. I am playing it for the art. If I am
now.
to better my deck, and I will admit this right now, Alana is the critical trigger you want to run. Back to you, Eric.
Are you referring to the critical trigger that goes to Soul?
Yeah, that's her name, Alana.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing that the Zorga player is relatively low on Soul,
I mean,
and
he
even
should
itself,
only have one ever.
yeah. But it's always nice to have that backup just in case.
Correct.
In case, yeah.
Which makes him a better player than me at the deck building wise. I don't cheat. So, realistically speaking here, right? Like, DOTE is pressuring right now, and he hits another heal. Like, my guy,
But
stop.
it's great for him, honestly, at this point.
Y'all were at 5 damage at one point. What happened?
My man's just trying to live.
Like, realistically speaking, just the way the game's going right now, it's very, like I said, it's very seesaw. It's very back and forth. Um, you are forced to just try to make do with what you have.
That's definitely what the dope player is doing right now.
Yeah, he's hanging on by
Because
a thread since he lost 2
I
Persona
mean,
rides early game.
yeah, like what are back rear guards? You know, like who needs those?
I know what
Especially
they are. They're shield fodder. But
just
realistically,
open
right?
fields.
Like, what does the Overlord really have for a booster? He has bar.
Exactly. So just the fact that you know, it's 4 attacks at most. You're just trying to build as much as you can. You're really running with like a turn by turn basis to see what
Correct.
you can do.
It's sort of honestly like prison where you need to be reactionary, not offensive. Like, you need to respond to your own deck, unfortunately.
Yeah, you gotta make do with what you have,
Like,
which isn't always bad
it isn't,
considering.
considering, like, right now, Zorga is the toolbox deck that has gone through his deck, like, what, 4 times? And
Yeah,
Dote
must be
is
nice.
keeping himself alive. He is staying strong.
He is, especially after all the triggers that have been dealt towards him.
Correct.
That
Now,
is
let's keep in
bad.
mind, guys, both OTs are still live for both players. So that is another how would you put it? Uh, another
Another
seesawy part,
factor.
huh?
Another factor to take into consideration.
Yeah.
But honestly, though, as strong as the Zorga overtrigger is, if if the Doe can pull it off on his
In
attack,
this
then
late game, DOTE is infinitely stronger.
yeah,
Like
because
that
he's
is
able to
6
reset
drive
three times,
checks.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
3 Vanguard attacks. And especially if he hits it on the first attack,
Yeah.
he has 4 cards out of like 4 fresh cards to ditch instead of just, oh, here's my old drive check.
That's a mini Stark from back
It
in
is.
OG. Or is. I completely forgot what that card did,
I mean, hey
but
man, Stark was a pretty good card.
yeah. But aside from reminiscing, that is what we could potentially see here.
And speaking of rearguard boosters, there he is, your boy Bar.
Yeah, that's a what is that? A 23 swinger by itself?
Incorrect. Bar gains 5K when your Vanguard attacks once per turn.
Ah, and he got the percent right too, so that's gonna be a beefy column right there.
Nahalm's 15, Bar's 13, that's 28. And then that is a Persona ride, so 38? Yeah, that's
Yes.
kind of big.
I
Kind of chunky.
know, and that just goes to show that all the triggers are gonna go to the other rear guard, if anything.
So here, normally, Nectar would be a very safe guard. That is a 35k shield, but it's against Dote.
Yes, and he was able to get the critical trigger to put
Correct,
on the
and now he
Vanguard.
needs to PG this, otherwise he's too lethal. Which, surprisingly, right? Like, Zorga still has the hand of guard.
He does,
And that's just the
and
beauty of the deck.
it is important to count triggers, but I mean, you know what you need to do at this point.
Not take this hit, I'll tell you that.
Doesn't seem like he has the PG in his hand though.
He does not.
Ooh.
That draw trigger is so good right now. There's
Oh.
defensive OT!
All right. Well, at the very least, hopefully he'll be able to swing at the rear guards at least. There you go.
I wouldn't have killed that dragon. I would have just let it be there. Waste attack? Nah, nah, nah. I want you to kill it yourself. So here is a very strong turn for Zorga. He finally has double dragon with the miasma play. Unfortunately, though, his only option is going to be Pot of Greed. That's why he is counting his deck. He can Soul Body Condensation here to give himself a attacker, but realistically speaking, Zorga is already big enough. Persona Ride plus Miasma makes Zorga 33k.
Yeah, it's quite the thin deck, so there's no need to overcommit.
Correct.
But they
But with
both
Soul Body Condensation and Miasma, he's able to get 2 boosters, and Belle is really huge. She is fat. Like, you look up definition of chonky, and that's her.
At the very least, the dope player has options to guard stuff
Let's just rewind to that draw check was at. He just draw check double PG.
and he used 3 PGs in total in turn. That is
Like, that double PG is literally telling Dote, kill me now, or I'm ending your life like next turn.
and we're about to see how that goes.
And yeah, Dote just hit triple PG, and he hits the ulti on the first drive check. This man's insane.
Has second over trigger in there. Then it's looking pretty lethal right now.
Like, he was already thinking like, hey, let me put the 100 million in my rear guard. Nah.
Why not if I'm resending 3 times?
Like, I'll be honest, guys. Like, if you don't have another PG to guard this attack, just take it and end the tournament early.
No need to drag it out for this long.
Meanwhile, Dote's still doing extra effect, because why not?
And he takes this one here. And
Yeah,
that's
that's
it.
GG, guys.
What a way to end it, though.
But yeah, just comes to show you guys like decks being played for this tournament at least were Magnolia, Zorga, of course DOTE. There was Thagria, there was Barrow, and it just shows you that even though top decks are represented here, who ended at finals? Zorga and DOTE. Well, yeah, guys, this is KCTCG, Ken, and Eric signing off.
See ya.